topic. Can someone read the topic? Improve customer relationship. Right? It was covered before lunch. So we have decided how we have taken it post lunch. Okay. Today's learning objective would be discuss how to improve customer relationship, recognize the opportunities to exceed customer expectations. In this short session, we are going to discuss how we can improve customer relationship and recognize the important opportunities where we can go beyond the expectations of the company. Okay. So the professor from previous session has covered most of it. I'm very grateful for that. But he has left. So what I'm going to do now is that I look 20% of it, and I expect every one of you to give 80%. So my first question would be this. Can someone read this slide? Yeah, please.
Why do businesses constantly strive for new customers?
Yes.
When keeping existing profitable ones is so much more key to business success.
Yes. Why? Why customer relationship is so important? Why?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
As research shows that onboarding new customer, your business is more expensive than the customer we have. We can retain it. It's more than 6 to 7%.
Thank you, Hemant. Just share what Mr. Nisar has mentioned.
To maintain the business relationship is important. To improve the relationships to grow the business.
See, bringing a new customer is going to cost us more. Harvard has done a research. It says it is 6 to 7 times more. Can you read it? Somebody, please read this. This is the latest research that is coming from Harvard Business Review. Nisar, please.
It is 6 to 7 times more expensive to gain a new customer than retaining an existing customer. How would business do?
Yes. As we have seen the Walmart example, so it is better to retain the existing customer. What is retaining? Let's say retain customer. Retain matlab how you can keep your customer on your side. अपनी तरफ रखना है customer. कैसे? क्यों? क्यों रखना है? Loyalty बढ़ाना, अच्छी सर्विस and referral. Okay.
Quality product.
Quality product. See, what happens is, क्या होता है? You have to spend 30% more just to bring new customer. If you keep on bringing new customer and forget about the customers that you already have, it's a huge loss for the company. So the topic is how to maintain customer relationship. So, welcome Nikita. Please, you can sit there. We have an activity. Pair up in groups of 2. Okay? आप दोनों. You can please. Hemant, आप यहाँ पे बैठो. Nikita यहाँ. Sit in pair. दोनों करके बैठो. Now we have understood why it is required. Why it is required? To keep the business with us. Correct? Now I will give you 1 minute of time. You discuss amongst yourself. Okay? Then each one of you will discuss on each of the topic. Welcome your customer. How you will do it? Can you read, Hemant?
Yes, welcome your customer.
That is the Nisar.
Express that your customer are valuable for you.
आप उनके साथ डिस्कस करके you hold it with you. What are your ideas? idea you are working on, how you can work on this. Building new relationships, building trust and show transparency. Transparency मतलब clarity. Clear करना है. Okay, that you work on. Third, Somesh and Naina. Can you read that? Address your customers' individual needs. Ask them for their feedback. आप दोनों काम करो. You have 1 minute time. You can start googling, discussing with your partner.
वैल्यूएबल फॉर यू।
हिंदी बोलो ना।
कस्टमर आपके लिए कितना जरूरी है?
कीमती है कस्टमर
How
हमारे लिए
as
कीमती है
a
ऐसा
store promoter,
वॉल्यूम हमारे
keep that in mind. Go ahead.
मतलब
Please Google it.
अपना जो प्रोडक्ट है कस्टमर की ज़रूरत है अपने
कस्टमर
कैंडिडेट फॉर सेल कैंडिडेट फॉर सेल प्रॉफिट
प्रॉफिट के लिए रेवेन्यू जनरेट करने के लिए
हाँ
चला कस्टमर वैल्यू कैसे देगा कैसा कैसा बढ़ाएंगे हम कस्टमर की वैल्यू
गुड प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी गुड सर्विस गुड रेपो वेंडिंग रिलेशनशिप्स ओके
Clear? Ready? Tejas ready? आपका group?
यस
All right. Thank you. The time is up. Please start. You start. Ask them for their feedback. Yes.
So whenever customer buys some product or gets some services from us, always it is necessary to ask feedback.
Hold it. Please everybody pay attention. Please start again. State that how are you going to ask the feedback. Ask the start. I am going to ask the feedback.
So that's why I was saying,
Yes.
when I ask feedback customer, so I will ask after customer buy the product or after getting service from our particular department or store, so that we can ask like, ma'am, how was the service? Anything else we can improve upon? Where we have improved? So we have to ask this kind of questions as well as what they are actually feeling about the service, which help us to improve our services. And we always should thank the customer because feedback are our improvement for our businesses, which helps to increase our services quality and improve our business.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Mr. Tinusha,
Yeah.
how will you welcome your customer?
We welcome with the politeness and we value the customer in such a way so that customer get overwhelmed that I have been in the store, give some kind of touching feel to build the relationship for longer period of time. So for that we can have a transcript, we can have something standard format how we greet our customers.
Correct. Tejas, can you please share your point? Maybe one point that you have. Any?
Whatever reactions.
Correct.
And make your actions and match your words.
Yes.
Then it is a trust.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Nisa. Yeah. Please go ahead.
कस्टमर आर वैल्यूएबल फॉर यू मीन्स व्हेन कस्टमर इज कमिंग शॉप आई विल हेलो सर हाउ मे आई हेल्प यू and keeping in touch with if birthday party or anything, always in touch with greetings.
Right.
Hello, happy birthday.
Yes. Thank you. So we are on the how part of it. Earlier we have seen why. Why it is important? It is important because we need the business. We have to be in the business. Now there is one more thing that is missing. That is this. What? I'm talking about 3 skill sets actually. Why is a mindset because you have to be in the business. How, like you have said, that's a skill set. What are you going to do? You have to communicate. Communication is the key. You are understanding my point? Now he said we will welcome the customer. तो customer आएगा तो he will say आ जाओ भाई आ जाओ तो खोल दिया दुकान ऐसा नहीं होगा.
Welcome.
It's not like that. There is the bigger part of it is this
Body language.
Body language. body language plays a much bigger role.
Yes.
Correct? Customer relationship executive. Anything else? How you speak, what you speak. In-store promoter is directly connected with two things in the subject, telecom industry and also customer care industry. So, written includes non-verbal communication. ये दोनों आ जाएंगे यहाँ पे. And oral, how you are going to communicate.
Improve customer relationship. When a business fails to meet the expectations of the customer, they will avail services from somewhere else, which means you would lose business. It is therefore important for an organization to inform the customer if they are unable to fulfill their demands. Examine the customer.
It is important, therefore, what is important? They have to examine the issues of the customer. Can you see the point? Communicate effectively. Okay. With the customer, within the organization and also outside customer.
Yes. About the message.
Yes, these are, just read through these slides, I will share the video. If you have any questions, just ask me. Last point says that you need to offer a substitute. If you don't have what customer is asking, you need to offer something substitute. This slide doesn't need any explanation. Know your customer, you need to know. Understand your customer needs. Meet your customer needs. This is already covered by Musa.
The idea is be yourself, but be your best self. We hate inauthentic people. You know what I think you should ask every guest that leaves? I haven't cleared this with corporate, so you may need to do that. But here's what I think you should ask every guest that leaves. Corporate's having minor coronary right now. They're having a stroke at the front table. But no, you'll like this, trust me. Because see, I don't get asked it. But I'm in this business, and I think it should be asked. Here's the question. Will we see you again soon? And wait for an answer. Because there's only one of three answers. What's the first answer? You bet. We'll be back. Muy bien. What's the second answer? Maybe. I mean, this is the person that's kind of hedging it. And you say, whoa, maybe. What would it take to get you to come back? And the third question is, And if they say, you got to troubleshoot it, don't you? You have to say, why is that? I don't want to pry, but man, we really pride ourselves on the experience we've had. Why wouldn't you come back? Can you see how a simple question might create connection? That's real. Instead of this happy talk, thank you for dining with us. I had a friend complain once. So this woman says at the front counter, says, was your meal, how'd you enjoy your meal? And my friend said, it sucked. Food was bad, service was slow, and the young woman looked back at her and said, I am so sorry, but they didn't teach me what to say next. Yeah, that's inauthentic, going through the motions. Was your meal fine? No. Here's the second thing, be interested. Make it about them, not about you. Be the least interesting person in your restaurant. Make it about getting the name of the kids or finding out how long they've been playing Buzz Time or how they why they like particular songs, but be interested. Number three is be knowledgeable. Know everything about it. I'm a beer guy. I love beer. I mean, I love beer. I digress. But my wife is suspicious. So when I say, hey honey, let's go so-and-so for dinner or lunch, she will say, you just want to go for the beer. And she's usually right. But the point is, she's on to me. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Highlands Ranch. Did not meet the GM. But I had a young guy that was our weight person, team member there. And I know a lot about beer. I mean, I really do. And I was asking him about the beer. See, that's my test. Somebody doesn't know the difference between an amber ale and an IPA or a pale ale or a Pilsner or a Hefeweizen. I know they're just going through the motions. Well, this guy knew his stuff. And I'm jumping ahead. I'm just so afraid I'm going to forget to say this. And my wife says to me, Now you got 25 taps, 25 to 30 taps. That to me, that's nirvana, right? And my wife says to me, before we leave, we got to come back. Now I want you to ask yourself this question. Why does she want to come back? She said, this was so much fun to bring the boys. Do you know how rare it is to create community in our culture? Do you know how many parents would love to take their kids someplace where the food was family friendly and there was a game that engaged them and you could sit around the table and enjoy not just a meal but some real fellowship? And that astounded me. That is the highest compliment I can give you at Buffalo Wild Wings. My wife, knowing there's 25 taps, still wants to come back because it's a great place to spend time with the family. Be empathic. Empathy doesn't mean you feel the same way as the guest. It means you understand how the guest feels. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy means you feel the same way. Empathy is the ability to understand. If a guest is unhappy, you don't have to be unhappy, but you got to understand why they're unhappy. You don't even have to agree with why they're unhappy. You just got to be able to understand it, because if you resist emotion, the emotion intensifies. Everything's built on relationships. First, be
Before I summarize, be genuinely interested. Okay? As a, not just an in-store promoter, any job that you are doing, be genuinely interested. Don't be genuinely fake it. Be genuine that you are interested, you are empathetic, that you want to help, you understand their needs. Any questions? Now we know how to improve our test. You have done that activity on how we can improve. There are many that you Google it and you also practice it. And how to manage and exceed expectations of the customer. Thank you so much.